And it looks like we are live. Hello out there.
Hello.
We have a lot of people in the house today. We have I'm going to go back to the beginning. So Nimue is here. Vera Faith is here. Moriko is here. Hello. Let's see. Sten is here. Yay. Like over from Central European time. We have Erulostiel here and Starflower and Draco. So we got kind of a full house. It's too bad because Dave ended up having to go to the museum.
Vera Faith's also here, according
Yes.
to, or wait, yeah.
Yeah, Vera Faith. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we got a full house.
Yeah, we do. So I am going to try to upload the ritual to the stage. So we do have it, but what I haven't figured out is how to navigate it. Oh, I see. So, okay. I'm not sure if I can make this the size that matters for like being able to read it. Okay. So the slides apparently, okay, I tried this new function called a slideshow and it works kind of, but I can't read it from here. So I'm going to have to read it from the other thing. Since we have a full house, I'm going to ask, would you prefer, meaning audience, would you prefer to just see me and Dekindre and then I'll read the ritual? Or do you prefer to see the screen? Because I don't know what it looks like for you guys. It looks really small to me. I believe that Dave is willing to share this PDF with everybody. It needs a couple of changes though, because we changed the title to Tindómielortië. And the reason we did that is because we wanted it to be like a one-word syllable, and we worked with one of our language people. His name is Mildo. He lives in Italy, and he's really great. And the AI that had picked up, like, because Dave did it with AI, like, you know, he just wanted to see what would happen. And it came up with something, but it was really long, and it didn't really fit with our other holidays because all of our other holidays are like one word. So we did something with one word. But I will ask him if he can make changes to it and if he is willing to share it with the audience. And if he is, we'll upload it to the back end of either WordPress or the Mega NZ account that we have. So yeah, they're saying the letters are way too small. So I'm going to remove this from the stage then. And let me see, you know what? We're going to make me and Dekindre bigger. How's that? Okay. So we also have, oh no, the rest of them are with, I'm looking at all the choices. The rest of them have to do with, okay, so I'm just going to remove this entirely. Remove from the studio. Okay, there we go. So, because I had another idea, what I'll do is I can present, but what I can do is make it to be where I'm sharing my entire screen. So for a moment, like you're going to see like my whole computer, but then when I get to the document, it'll work. So personally, I'm just as good with listening and reading. Okay, so either one doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to try this though, because I'd like to see it on the screen for this particular presentation. So let me see if I can do a different way. So I'm going to do this one called sharing a screen. Hey, I might not have to. I might actually be able to share it the real way. Can you guys see it? Oh my goodness, I think it worked.
Nice. Yeah, I can see it on my side.
It says April 3rd because it was yesterday. Sorry, we rescheduled because Dave asked us to reschedule because of his sleeping schedule. Because what he does is he'll stay up for many more than 24 hours and then he'll sleep for longer than 8 hours. So his schedule is a little, you know, it's just different than what the planet's schedule is, right? So what happens, yeah, exactly. They said, oh, it's definitely readable. Sweet. We're going to do it this way. So I need to switch over like for navigation of the document, but this is brilliant. Okay. Can you see me moving the document up and down with my 2 fingers on my cursor? I'm gonna try it. Okay, I'm gonna try moving it just to see, and then switch it back to see if I actually moved it. It did. Wow, awesome. So this is working properly now, apparently. And Sten says he thought he had a crazy sleeping schedule. So that's funny. Yeah, I think Dave is great, like, but like when he needs the sleep, it's like for many, many, many hours, because he'll be up for days and then he'll sleep for, many, many hours. So that's just what it is. We just work with that, and it kind of caught up with him, and he didn't realize it. So we had to reschedule, and then we didn't realize that his family was like, oh, today is the day we're going to the museum when he woke up. So, okay. StreamYard, okay. PDF. Okay. I am going to start the April 3rd. So we're at the April 3rd. So we now have, okay, so just astrologically speaking, Venus, which is called Earendil in the Tolkien legendarium, is also, because Venus has 2 parts of her cycle. One is when she's in the evening sky, and one is when she is in the morning sky. Now, when we have a Venus retrograde cycle, that means that it's in the western sky and it goes retrograde. So it lowers in the western horizon all the way down until it disappears. And then on the eastern side of the horizon, it begins to rise. Okay. Normally, in that inferior conjunction, because that's what it's called when it passes the sun, okay, and then comes out the other side, normally that process takes about 8 days, okay, when Venus does that switcheroo in this particular retrograde cycle. This particular time, though, it's very interesting that it kind of switched almost immediately. So the way that Venus is in the sky, because of the angles of the way that the Earth is, and just the way that it's set up, it actually retrograded all the way down to the day in the western sky if you had a telescope, okay, or some other helpful mechanism for seeing it, and it appeared almost immediately in the eastern sky. Okay. So what Dave did was he figured out the measurements, because he's more of an astronomy guy, and figured out the measurements available for the naked eye in order to see the rise of Venus again in the sky with our eyes. Okay. He figured out that day was April 3rd, but April 4th is still good. So if you guys want to see Venus rising in the morning sky now, just wake up early enough before the sun rises and you'll be able to see Venus rising in the sky. Now, depending on your skyline, okay, because some people are lucky enough to like maybe have an ocean or something flat, so you can see Venus rising. You may have to wait a little longer depending on where you live in order to see Venus rising in the morning sky. But I just thought I would give you guys the opportunity for that. And so that's what we're celebrating right now, is the return of Venus. And so where the evening star fading, we aligned also with Arwen even star. We are now aligning the morning expression of Venus, which is Earendil. We're now aligning this with Luthien Tinuviel. And Tinuviel in Quenya, so that's the Tinuviel is Sindarin, which is a type of Elvish that was spoken in the Lord of the Rings in the later ages. The elder language was Quenya. And so we are using the word Tindómiel, And it's interesting because Tindómiel is also used as a proper name for one of Elros's daughters. So Elrond, you guys know who Elrond is, he had a brother named Elros who had chosen to be human because they're half elf, half human. Elrond had chosen to be elven. His brother Elros chose to be human, but he had a daughter and her name was Tindómiel, and it literally means twilight, but it's the morning twilight that we're kind of focusing in on. So that's why we are calling this holiday Tindómielortië, which means the rising of the morning star. Okay, so just letting you guys know what we're doing. So the Quenya name that you see on this form, this is the one that was generated by AI, you know, because he wanted to fill it in with something, and he didn't know how to do it. This isn't bad, but we wanted something to be more concise. So when we get this document redone with the correct title, I will ask Dave if he wishes to make it available for you, as Erolastiel, and anybody else that would like it, and you guys can, you know, possibly download it. So we'll get that done. So April 3rd, which is April 4th. Okay, you know what? Right now, she's rising every day. So the high, you know, like the later you wait, the higher she's going to rise in the sky for a little while until the retrograde is over, which will be around April 14th. That is what going to be the time that she is the highest in the sky, and then she'll start, you know, gradually lowering over like a long period of time. So if you guys want to wait until you see her really high in the sky, wait till around the time that the retrograde ends, and that'll be the time that she's the highest in the sky. Okay. The theme, the light returns, the dawn of hope. Okay. The mythic correspondence is Luthien's defiance of fate and the return of the morning star. The symbolic act is unveiling or lighting a lantern, signifying Venus's or Earendil's reappearance and the renewal of hope. Okay, Tindómielortië is the name, the Quenya name that that Mildo helped us come up with. So that was wonderful. So the opening invocation is the star reborn. So we would begin in darkness or a dim light, and then speak. Long was the night, and the shadows deep, yet even in the dark shall pass, for as the morning kindles the sky, the star shall rise anew. And then we would slowly uncover or light a light or a lantern, a candle would be fine. And we would represent Venus's returning as the morning star. So if you happen to have that and you're watching Venus, you can light a candle or unveil your lantern and bring back the light. Linde Ellen Lote, the Song of the Starflower. This would be the version that is usually done with Il Salunte Valion rather than the version that we do in the Way of Arda's lore, because I do it with the star shape. This is more about like some areas of your body, and this is what we actually did early on. So they decided to stay with that particular way. So we'll do it the Il Salunte Valion way today. So we'll touch our forehead. We will intone Menel, which means the heavens. Menel. We point down, we cover our groin area, we intone Arda, the earth. Arda. We touch our left shoulder, we intone Telperion, the silver tree. Telperion. We touch our left hip. We intone Eleni, which means stars. Eleni. now touch our right shoulder. We intone Laurelin, the golden tree. Laurelin. We touch our right hip and we intone Valar, which are the powers. Valar. We now rest our hands over our heart and we intone Eru. Eru. We move our hands in a clockwise circle, a small circle, and then back to our heart while we intone Ea. Ea. Aligning with the sacred sphere. Be aware of the earth plane, the four directions, its seasons, its many mansions, and the ground beneath you. Send your awareness upwards into the realm of air, its vastness, the stars and the planets, and the three divisions of its realm, Vilna, Ilwe, and Vita. In order from the surface of the ground upward. We intone Manwe's Valarin name, Manawenush, allowing it to attune to the consciousness, to the heights. Manawenush. Next, send your awareness downward to experience the realm of the sea, its immensity and intrinsic power, its mystery and life. And we feel the outer reaches of the encircling seas of Vai. We intone Ulmo's Valarin name, Ulu Boj, and allow it to attune to the consciousness, to the depths. Uloboj. We return our awareness to the earth plane and experience the realm of earth, the plane of union. Be aware that all the realms meet and merge here. Intone Aule's Valarin name, Aguaulish, and allow it to attune to the consciousness, to the earth. Aguaulish. Send your awareness outward to encompass the sphere of Arda. Be aware that you are the epicenter in the sphere with its three realms, and that all of its energy unfolds around you and connects you to all. Luthien's triumph over death. Luthien's choice. The song before Mandos. They bore Beren on a bier of wood, with Juan walking where his master stood. By night they came to Menegroth's hall, where Hiri Lorn sheds leaves that slowly fall. Beneath those boughs she waited still, her heart weighted down by sorrow's will. She kissed him once and bade him go to wait for her beyond the sea's cold flow. But As she gazed into his fading eyes, his spirit fled beneath the starless skies. Her light was quenched, the darkness grew, and Luthien's strength was broken too. Yet Lathien's tale did not conclude, for Beren's soul refused to leave the world that he knew. He tarried long in the shadowed halls until she joined him where the dim shore calls. A winter fell upon King Thingol's reign, a heavy silence filled with endless pain, for Luthien crossed the sundering seas to stand before Mondos in quiet pleas. Before his throne, where shadows dwell, she knelt in grief no words could tell. Her song surpassed all songs of old, its beauty vast, its sorrows bold, of elves' deep grief and men's despair, of kindreds torn by fate laid bare. Her tears like rain upon the stone moved Mondos's heart, till then unknown. No pity stirred him in ages past, but now he wept as time flew fast. Then Beren came at Mondos's call, their meeting brief yet sweet withal. Yet Mondos could not change their fate, nor turn aside death's solemn weight. So Manwe pondered Ilúvatar's will, and gave to Luthien choices still. To Valimar you may repair, to dwell among the deathless fair. But Beren cannot tread that shore, for mortals pass through death's dark door. Or else return to Middle Earth, rejoin your love, and face rebirth. As mortal both, your days shall wane. You'll leave this world and know great pain, yet hand in hand your fates entwine. Beyond the world your souls combine. This choice she made without regret, forgetting Valinor, its grace, its net. She cast aside her elven kinship's claim to share Beren's life, his joy, his flame. Alone of all the elders' line, she chose to die, her fate divine. Yet bound were men and elves as one. Through Luthien's love, their threads were spun. Though ages pass, her memory stays. In countless hearts her likeness plays. For Luthien, beloved and true, forever shines in the morning's dew. The symbolic act, the light that cannot be quenched, which represents Luthien's defiance of darkness and the return of the morning star. So you would light a lantern or a candle. Dekindre, can you read any of these words? I'm curious, because maybe what I can do is have you either be the caller or the response.
Yeah, I can, let's see. I can read those, so which one would you like me to be?
Okay. I'm going to have you be the caller, and I'll be the response.
Okay. What rises beyond the night?
The light that shall not fail.
Who returns beyond the veil?
She who walks the hidden road.
And where shall her light shine?
In every heart that remembers. As the morning star rises anew, so too does the mariner of the stars ascend. Once lost beyond the world's edge, he sails forth once more, a light in the void, and thus was Vingalot hallowed. Vingalot's consecration, Earendil's voyage, and the hallowing of Vingalot. Earendil saw no hope remaining in Middle-earth, for the wars had laid waste to the land, and no aid had come. In despair, he turned once more toward the west, with Elwë, his wife, at his side, bearing the Silmaril upon his brow. The light of the jewel grew ever brighter as they sailed into seas beyond mortal knowing, passing beyond the enchanted isles and the shadowy seas. At last they beheld the lonely isle of Tol Eressëa. The Teleri, gazing from afar, saw the approach of Vingalot, radiant with holy light of the Silmaril. Then Earendil, first of living men, set foot upon the immortal shores of Aman. Here none but myself shall tread, lest you fall under the wrath of the Valar. That peril I take upon myself alone for the sake of the two kindreds. But Elwë leapt into the white foam and followed him, saying, then would our paths be sundered forever, but all thy perils I will take on myself also. Thus they departed from their companions, and Earendil alone passed into the land. Ascending the green hill of Tuna, where the streets of Tirion stood empty, his heart was heavy, for he feared that even the blessed realm had fallen into shadow. But as he turned back toward the sea, a great voice called to him from the heights, hail, Earendil, of mariners most renowned, the looked for that cometh at unawares, the longed for that had cometh beyond hope, bearer of light before the sun and moon, splendor of the children of earth, star in the darkness, jewel in the sunset, radiant in the morning. And then Earendil was brought before the Valar, where he pleaded for the two kindreds, pardon for the Noldor, mercy for men and elves, and aid in their greatest hour of need. And Manwë gave judgment. The peril he ventured for love of the two kindreds shall not fall upon him, nor upon Elwë, his wife. Yet never again shall they walk among elves or men in the outer lands, but to them and to their sons is given the choice of which kindred shall their fate be bound. Then Earendil spoke. Choose thou, Elwë, for now I am weary of the world. And Elwë chose the firstborn for the love of Luthien, and for her sake Earendil did likewise, though his heart remained bound to the kindred of men. Then the Valar hallowed Vingalot, and bore it beyond the door of night, setting it amongst the stars. Fair and marvelous was that vessel made, filled with a wavering flame, pure and bright. Earendil the mariner sat at its helm, glistening with the dust of elven gems, and upon his brow was bound the Silmaril of Feanor. Far he journeyed into the starless voids, yet most often was he seen at the morning and the evening, glimmering in the sunrise and the sunset, as he returned from voyages beyond the confines of the world. Thus Earendil became the evening and the morning star, the beacon beyond the night. So rises the morning star, the light in the east and the hope beyond the dark. And we allow a light to remain on as a symbol of renewal, or your candle to continue burning. I hope that all of you enjoyed that. Oh, Nimue says beautiful. Awesome. And let me see here. I'm looking at the comments right now. Hang on. Readable. Okay. Beautiful. If I would wake up, okay, this is what Sten says. I'm gonna highlight. Says beautiful. And then Sten says, if I would wake up the next morning and see an ocean global warming really sped up. Oh. Okay, beautiful. That was good. Yeah, right? And Erolastiel says that was incredibly beautiful. Thank you. So yeah, that was, I mean, what a gift from Dave, right? Like he can't even be here. Thank you so much, dearest. Thank you, Mariko.
Aw, Vera's comment I like.
And Vera Faith says, I really enjoyed it. It almost moved me to tears. Oh, I know. That one part with Luthien for me did too, because, and of course, all of you guys know that there is a resonance. Oh, Nimue says, I really enjoyed that. And Starflower says, thank you. So beautiful. Yeah, right?
Thank everyone for attending. We're so glad you're all here.
Yeah. So, I mean, all of us, I think, know about the parallel of the story between Luthien and Beren, and how Luthien bound herself to Beren, a mortal. Okay. And then the same story with Arwen binding herself to Aragorn. It's literally a parallel. And one is like resonant of the morning and the beginning of everything, and one is the resonance of the ending of the age before the age of men, right? Like that, we all know that, like in the end of the Lord of the Rings, it's the age of men, right? Like right at the end of Lord of the Rings, and it was like the elves were saying, hey, it's time for us to go to Valinor on the ships. Or the elves that remained behind, they faded into the surroundings in Arda because they could not be in the vibration of that particular time period anymore on Arda. Okay, but I think that we are getting to a place, and this is why we co-founded this path. I do believe that at some point, again, the elven energies are going to be returning. And I think that anybody that resonates with those energies, like if you feel that song in your DNA or your being or your soul or whatever you call it, it doesn't matter. That's all that matters to us. And we're so thankful that you are with us and that you've chosen this as your connection to the spirit of Arda and the spirit of Ea, all of creation.
I was actually going to say that from what my mentor taught me previously and up until last year when she passed away, the elven energies, and it's ironic that I found this path 10 years ago. We both had talked many times that the elven energies started reawakening on the planet about 15 years ago. So
yeah,
they are,
and we were called a little early because we had to be a like, I guess,
training,
the mantle, or the finding. We had to be the lantern. Tindómiel, my name, guardian of the gift of light. It's a lantern.
Because like I was saying, my mentor and I actually started elven energy trainings about 15 years ago. So it's definitely starting to accelerate and pick up to its full blossom in the coming few years. It's
Yeah, well,
definitely
and the part, you know what is also exciting too, Dick and Drake, especially with your part where you're coming in. Um, what's interesting is that yes, most of us that are here like really do align with the energies of elvenness. Okay, whether we call it eldalie, whether we call it quendi, um, whether we call it elf. Like, I mean, there's, like, I know that Tolkien didn't really, he kind of regretted that word, but um, I think that it's okay. Like, we'll go with it. It's what it is, and we'll go with it. But the energies that are starting to come together that you've like actually brought to the forefront of, like, say for instance, the dwarven energies, or
correct.
the hobbit energies is pretty incredible.
Yeah, we're getting ready pretty soon to release more stuff on those as we go, but absolutely um we're definitely not just seeing. I think it awoke as before with, like, through the legendarium, it awoke with the elves, but with the elven energy picking up pace for the last 15 years, now you're seeing the time of the dwarven energies return. Now you're seeing the hobbit energies return, and that's where others are starting to resonate as well. It's not just the elven that are returning, but much more all of the energies of the legendarium from Arda are
Yeah.
returning and reawakening. So I think we're moving beyond the Age of Men back into something that combines all of them.
Right. Dagger Daggereth is like the ending of the third song, and how everything will rejoin and re-sing the Ea, like the Ea, the creation, but we'll re-sing it. So it'll be different, because not only will it have the Ainur, okay, which is inclusive of the Valar, the Maiar, but it will be unique because the elves and men, which are Iluvatar's creations directly, will be also singing. And honestly, I wonder if there would be a petition for the dwarven energies, even though they were created by Iole. He created them with love.
He did,
You
and
know?
and it is said even in the legendarium that they did help shape and create everything around us, and that when Daggerath happens after that, and after everything is destroyed again and remade, that they will be paramount in the rebuilding of everything. So
Yeah.
they are going to be, essential for recreation. There's also some really great comments in the thing.
Oh,
Sten
I'm
made a
going to
really
start
great
reading them
one.
here in a moment.
Okay. I was going to say
Okay,
Sten
so
made a
here's what we're going to
fantastic
do. We're going to highlight Mariko. She's answering to Sten, which maybe, you know what? Let me go back up here a little further, and we will start with that comment. Okay, so Sten said, this ritual strikes a powerful mood. Something between fate and hope was exactly what I needed this night. Thank you. Erolostiel says, thank you for creating a wonderful space for us all. Yeah, right? Like, everybody, exactly. Like, not just elves, not just, it's for everyone who resonates with this really high source energy. Mariko says, Stin, me too. I had started seriously meditating, listening to the playlists on this channel, and aligned myself with the energy of the Valar, which is very intense. Thank you for doing that. We love that about the, like,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's so wonderful. Awesome. The more I go into, or I'm sorry, the more I go on, the more I need calm around me. And boy, I can tell you that we definitely need some calm right now. Okay.
Oh yeah.
We definitely do. It should be, by the way, astrologically, just letting you guys know, the springtime has been very tense with a lot of aspects. We should see a quickening of energy. So it will be going fast, but it will be going fast, I believe, in a good way by summer. Just letting you know. Okay. We can do a detailed thing about that later if you guys would like, but just letting you know that just offhand. So Sten then says, to me, Tolkien feels like a banner bearer that elven energies are returning. Feel that he couldn't have done it, what I did, without those energies becoming accessible again. That's what we're kind of thinking too, is that there's a sensing of those energies arising so that, you know, everybody can be on board that's on board, so that it can arise when the timing is right. And so this
And
is kind of the beacon call, right?
Yeah, and he provided the framework and the
Definitely,
like material for which this organization is able to exist.
mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to be here without what Tolkien brought forth all those years ago. And he had such talent to connect with that particular, you know, like those beings and their language and their culture and all of the things that he found, which are very, very ancient. I
And the
know that they were
history and
ancient
lore.
energies. They were
Yeah.
definitely ancient energies. There's
Yeah,
no
the history
question to
and
me.
lore and
Yeah,
yeah, without him, the profound path that exists wouldn't be there. It's yeah,
right.
so he is, I agree with Sten, he is definitely the sort of banner bearer for the rest of us here
Yeah,
today.
definitely. And maybe his role, like maybe not necessarily a banner, but a lantern, like a light that
Yeah.
is like a lighthouse, right? Like a lighthouse does that. It beacons so that those ships can find the you know, safety in the shore. That's kind of, I guess, like what's going on. And wow, what's our beacon? That would be Earendil, Venus, and we're literally doing this ritual today of the return of the light in the morning sky. So the morning star is back, and this is wonderful. So back in March, we were having it fading, you know, like and sinking in the western sky, but it comes back out in the eastern sky during retrograde cycles. So if you guys are ever interested in when to do that, and I'm going to try to keep track of all of this myself just for the path, because I'm the, you know, I guess I'm the resident astrologer. Anytime Venus will go retrograde, this ritual could be repeated. That will be about every approximately year and a quarter to a year and a half. Just letting you know how often that is, okay? Vera Faith says, I had no idea why I was so drawn to the Lord of the Rings since I read the books in college. Right, okay. And I think Sten was just correcting something that he wrote, what I did, and so what he did without all those energies becoming available. Erolastial says, 100 agree with Dekindre. There you go. Okay. Sing Ainur and men, elves, and dwarves sing a new song, right? Like, I would like the dwarves to be included as well. So I would be down for a petition for that. I think
I'm pretty sure they will
I
be.
think
mean,
Iole, I think Iole will come to the forth of that, you know, like he'll come to the forefront. And we also know that Namo in the halls of Mondos, you know, is the judge, but also Monway. And I would say Monway, we really need his overlooking, because he has, I guess, if you will, the closest connection with the mind of Eru Iluvatar. And so we definitely would have to convince Monway, right? Okay. Very inspiring to see what can be done with ritual work like tonight. Oh, thank you, Sten. Yeah. And by the way, all of you guys are here, so since I have a captive audience, we can't wait to see you on Sunday. Okay, we're going to be here at the same time.
yes.
And we're really excited to talk to all of you guys. So have your questions like handy about what you would want to ask about. We are going to be doing a topic that we felt like that is a really good topic for beginners as
crucial.
well as more adept, called spiritual deconditioning, in order to be in this path, because sometimes what happens is that our prior, if you will, religious studies, whether it be Christian, whether it be pagan, or like any kind of pagan, heathen, druidic, witchcraft, like whatever, doesn't matter, okay? There is a set, like, if you will, energy that's in place. And we make a mistake when we are reading the Legendarium, thinking that we have to take some of the stuff that we learned from Catholicism, or like witchcraft, or paganism, or heathenism, or things like that. And certainly there's some things that actually do apply, but we just want to talk about, like, sometimes just reading the Legendarium itself will give you pretty much all you need to know. We had a saying a long time ago that was, what would the elves do? and that was arrived at by Ray, who was my
Exactly.
partner back in 2005 when this path was founded. And because he literally said, all you have to do is read the stories and figure out what the elves do, and that will probably be very resonant of your path. Now, that was a good mantle for that time. Okay, I would actually say, in a way, what would Eru have us do? You know what I mean? Like, but it would still be, elves, Eru. So, I mean, I guess it will, it'll still work. WWED. Okay. But the thing is that we have noticed time and again that there's some things that will, be, like, if you will, assumed. Okay. And we didn't want anything to be assumed, because the Legendarium really does address a lot.
And
so Nimue
yeah.
says she's looking forward to Sunday's video, and that it'll be interesting and much needed. Thank you so much. Draco says we must unlearn first. Exactly.
Absolutely. And
oh my gosh.
We will go into
that
much
might have been
greater
the title
detail.
of our video, right? Unlearn first.
We will go into much greater detail about how even myself, when I came in 10 years ago. So it's not like we'll go in much deeper on Sunday, but it's not like we're coming from a spot where, from our lofty towers, all of you must do
all
this.
of you little people. I know. Yeah. Like, that is not how we've had to decondition.
It's literally a decondition that I've had to go through when I discovered this path and where I am now. It's literally deconditioning that the universe, that the lessons have put myself through. So this won't be something that we're just
I'm also guilty of that. Okay. I had my own, definite assumptions when I came into this path. So part of that will be shared, from my awakening, I guess, 20 years ago. Hey, guess what? I just realized in August this year is our 20th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool? August 23rd, 2025 will be our 20th anniversary, because we started in 2005. So that's really cool. And Dekindre, like, I guess that by August, are you going to be in Scotland by then?
Most likely.
That will be August so 23rd. Awesome, because that's when okay, so guys, we're working on getting our new, like, EIN number, like, becoming, I mean, we are still a nonprofit, but we want to start over in order to clean house. Okay, like, it's a long story. If you guys are, some of you guys are familiar with it. If you're not, just reach out in your normal way of getting a hold of us, and we'll tell you what that's about. But we want to start over so that we have a clean slate for all of you. And part of this was just part of our path. I mean, we had to, like, really discover in some sense that we really do have our own very strong identity, and we really don't align with a lot of other movements. I apologize. And it doesn't mean that we're not friends. Like, it's kind of one of those things. So, okay. Faith says she's looking anxious. Okay, so we don't want you to be anxious. We would like you to be eager. Okay. Be eager for Sunday. Okay. Anxious is not a word that we want to use. Okay. So Veriface says, I would like a bracelet of what would the elves or Eru do to remind me to think of that, right?
We should look at getting something like that made.
We should look into getting it. Hey, maybe like with our Septaquitra, right? And then putting around it what would the elves do?
Or looking
that would be
at
awesome.
Yeah, we might even be able to look
maybe
at a
t-shirt.
combination. Or
maybe
actually
a t-shirt.
We'll have to look when we do the necklace order. Maybe the people that do that could do a bracelet.
Yeah, maybe there could be a way to do that.
So
maybe we could even make them in Tingwar letters
Yeah,
too.
we'll take a look and
or Kirth.
Yeah. We'll look deeper into that behind the scenes and see if maybe we can't do like a necklace bracelet combination. That would be cool.
Great. Yeah, exactly. Celebration.
Definitely for the 23rd of
oh,
August.
okay. Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Of course, that's what she's talking about.
Yes. Draco's
August
comment.
23rd. In fact,
I wrote it down.
My calendar is right here. August 23rd, 2025 is our 20th anniversary. So yes, I'm going to mark it in the calendar right now.
Well, we definitely could do something.
You know what? It's combined with the new moon, so we could even do a Quaron holiday with it too.
That would be fun.
Yeah, so Saturday, we're going to make that. It's Saturday, so I'm going to write it down. Okay. We'll make it kind of around the same time of day, unless you're not in Hawaii anymore, and then we can even make it earlier in the day so everybody can come. Okay.
We'll figure it out. If I have to use an energy
just
drink
put
to stay
daytime.
awake, I'll be there.
Daytime. Okay, 20th anniversary. Okay, of WAL.
Draco's next comment too is
I know, I'm going to highlight it.
I love that.
This one.
Oh wow.
That he remembers 2005, 3,000 years ago. I was there. Yeah, he's one of our oldest people that have been around for a long time. Definitely.
That is
so. Their faith says great. Starflower says awesome, and then Sten says I'm curious about Sunday's video. Though I experience that I need to decondition to some point, I also feel my personal calling is to build some bridges between spiritual paths. That is a very excellent thing, but in order to do it properly, you got to decondition so that you have a good foundation. Then you can make bridges. Because I do the same thing. I happen to be a pagan. I hang out with people that that are like worshiping the Morrigan with crows and and also Odin and other things. So it happens to me all the time. But you have to get to a place of where it's legendarium. And by the way, I shouldn't say you have to. What I should say is, if you resonate with the legendarium, it's ideal to just do legendarium within your whole container and then reach out into the ways that you already know. It's not like erasing your prior conditioning. It's actually just putting it aside until you can reintegrate again. That's it.
We'll go into this further in Sunday's video, because I also, like you, Sten, work with a lot of interfaith opportunities and interactions. And the way that I would describe those, and like I said, we'll go in much deeper on Sunday. It is it's always an educational opportunity, but I would consider it that rather an interfaith thing rather than it. Exactly. Draco just said the same thing.
Yeah, I'm highlighting it right now.
I was going to say the other aspect.
Well, actually, ginger and other things, they also kill all the parasites. Right. So, I mean, it's actually kind of there's a whole lot of layers of meaning to that.
So we'll go further into it, but additionally, in an interfaith aspect, each individual represents from a grounded, firm standpoint, their faith. When they speak on Hinduism, they are speaking as a Hindu practitioner. But what they're in essence doing is, consider it, to put it into an analogy, they are representing a flavor of tea, if you will. And they are putting that into sample cups for everyone present to taste. What they are not doing is taking their flavor of tea and dumping each into one pot and then being like, hey, let's pour this and try it.
Right.
You would get an
You would not do
incompatible
that.
blending.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what they're doing is representing each on a standalone thing from the position that they do. So no, it is absolutely possible, and we'll go much deeper into how to do that and still do interfaith.
And part of this is our own experience, because like we're not coming at you with
which will go much deeper.
We are like the grand poobah of Elven spirituality or whatever.
No.
That's not what's happening, because we've had to do this whole process ourselves. The only person that I don't think that had to do it was Dave. And even Dave integrates shamanism practice and his like plant medicine, so okay, Nimue says yes, the calm the inflammation of previous conditioning. That is a good metaphor. Wow, very cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh wait, Mariko, I'm sorry, I'm getting them mixed up. Okay, so elves love to laugh, joke, and love life in all aspects. In the church in my city, they are the reformers who insist on teaching us parents. A woman talks about sacrifice, about duty, but she never talks about the joy in what she does, only commitment and duty. But the spiritual nature is joyful and lively. I don't think that thinking with pain and sacrifice leads to anything good unless you have suffered.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not really sure, Mariko, are you talking about the legendarium, or are you talking about your like particular path and how much of the legendarium like intersects with that particular path? Are you talking about something else? Like, because I'm not following necessarily. Oh, she says don't worry. Okay, well, maybe what we'll do is we'll find out more on Sunday, right?
But yeah, so we definitely have a lot going on this year. I also wanted, for those who don't know, by the way, I wanted to say, Lisa, since we're on the public thing, but thank you for sending that. So for those who don't know, as we've said, I at the beginning of the year was offered a really awesome opportunity where, besides doing this path, I became a non-paid columnist for a website blog known as paganpages.org.
Yeah, we have that link in our our link tree. So yeah, that way anybody that wants to, they can go see all of your articles.
They've been around since 2006, and one of the things I'm enjoying, and it's getting a lot of responses, is that I get to represent both Way of Arda's lore, but also just Tolkien's spirituality as a whole on that blog. So that is something that also exists. Plus, there's a bunch of other really amazing writers.
Yeah.
But yeah, we actually
and they got an award for being like one of the top 20. Yeah, recently.
Actually, out of 70, the blog that 70. You sent
me.
me.
That's right.
Out
it was
of, out of
and
70,
you were the top 10.
We were top 8.
Yeah, top 8.
We were in we were the 8th out of 70 blogs that exist.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's really amazing. Congratulations to Kindred.
We also have presence over there as well, which means that this path is being represented not just in these videos, but in a monthly column that I do over there and go. Thank you, Nimue. But
Praise.
Yeah, I've been trying to go into detail and provide incantations and knowledge to people who never have considered this path as a valid spiritual path.
Right. And you're reaching a pagan audience. Now, Sten, I was going to ask you, and you can type in the comments, is your interfaith more with other Christian paths? I'm curious, because Dekindres even though he was raised, very, I guess, really fundamentally Christian, I believe that Dakindre's work is more interfaith with other pagan paths. And Sten says, I also love your column. I sneakily hope that you can still do the March Monway column, because Monway is so dear to me.
I actually did. It was up a couple. I got it up at the end of March, like the very last day.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because unfortunately, March was with the move to Scotland and everything.
Yeah, well, and you were packing. I remember it was pretty intense.
Got away from me. It was a chaotically intense month, and I had very little time to write or focus on anything path related. But I did get it up. It's not up to my usual standards. April's is going to be much more fantastic, but
yeah,
I did
cool.
get it up. So it is there, Sten.
Here, cool. You know what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make a link for anybody that is interested in attending, and I'm going to put it here in the live chat. Now, for any of you watching the replay, you can actually find all of the posts that Dakindre makes on paganpages.org. There is a section on the Linktree article that that link we share everywhere. Link, linktr.ee/Elven Spiritual Path. And we kept it that way because we have those links everywhere. Okay. So what we're going to do is probably have Way of Arda's lore at some point, and then have like it pointed to, so that we can actually not lose anybody in our transition with our name.
Yes.
But I did just put in the comments, and in fact, I'll highlight it. This is Dakindre's Monway piece, or Isil Sulime. Okay, so I just wanted to let you guys know. But the Pagan Pages Dakindre page is on the link tree that we have, of which I'll just type it out.
Yeah, so each month I do a whole column on the full moon for that month. I try to include incantations, information on who the Valar is for that month, and so many other things. I provide monthly ways to enhance both mundane and magical life. So it's really something that
well, because you're reaching pagans that never thought that they would
this was a valid path
and into their path, and they might even really like do what you did, like kind of switch into the legendarium, and then their pagan path is secondary. And I did that a long time ago when I realized that my energy really matches this path so much more than paganism. Although I'll go to Ireland, and I'm in the cave of the cats, like Morrigan, the Morrigan is there, and so I didn't put aside everything that I do, but it's just I guess it's just a part of my journey. It's like visiting something, but you don't live there. You know what I mean? Like, and you visit things, and you go back and you go, oh, that was cool. And then you go back to where you live. You know what I mean? Like, I live in Tolkien Legendarium. You know what I mean?
Samantha, I can't go into exact details at the moment, but I can say that I'll keep everyone posted, but keep your eyes out. There is something possibly in the works through a traditional publishing opportunity that I have available that would address stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I can't go into, nothing is confirmed yet. So due to NDA type stuff, I can't go into more detail on that just yet.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So that's like a called stay tuned, right?
Yes, very much a stay tuned.
Okay. Mariko says, thank you, dearest. The time has come for me to rest. I'll catch up with the rest of the video tomorrow. Hey, no worries. We're gonna sign off soon, Mariko, so you don't have to catch up with the rest of the video. Just show up Sunday if you can. We'd love to see you.
And so glad you were able to be here.
We are so thankful. Okay. we will meet along the straight way if Irmo allows it. Right. Yeah, that's a hard way to meet, but you know what? We can do it in dreams with Irmo. And
Digitally.
we can also do the Rainbow Bridge. I don't think we'll have to take the path of death yet. Okay. Okay. We have Oh Sounds Exciting. I'll eagerly await until you can share more. Awesome. Yeah, and I know that you're one of our regulars, so we'll keep you posted. Awesome. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end the video soon. Okay, so Hanan Leimelin. Yay, very awesome. Very, very good. Okay, have a good evening. Let's see. Okay, we got a whole bunch of byes. Goodbye, Namarie, Laita, blessings happening here. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, we've had a really great time today, and we do wish Dave could have been here for like witnessing his amazing work, but you know what? He can watch the replay. Awesome. Have a good evening, have a good weekend, have a good morning when you get to like wake up early in the morning and see Venus in the morning sky. We would love that. We would love that. Okay. Take care, everyone, and Hanan Leimanam. All right. Oh, and let's stop sharing that particular thing. And Starflower says blessings. Yay. Okay, guys, we're gonna go off. We're gonna go offline now. And Sten says good night, midday, morning, whatever. have a wonderful weekend. We're gonna see each other on Sunday.
Yes.
Awesome. Very good. Take care, you guys. Laita, many blessings. Bye.